So we're live on the community as well as TikTok. We'll just go through a couple things here yesterday, guys. Like I always do when I start out, I like to talk about our trading day yesterday. I'm gonna do it two ways. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it based on the indicators, the setups, the movements, and then the range that we played as well as on the live trader. So let's go ahead and get started out. So I'm gonna be on the 2 minute here. I'm going to go to regular trading hours just to make it easier for us to see on those hours. And then you can see, let's see, Monday we opened up, right here is where we opened up. So one of the things I wanted to talk about or point out at first here is when you see that we had the market push like this, right? The first thing that we were talking about is the fact that we wanted to try to take puts early, right? And so when you look at that, we had put that out. I wanted to show you all this here real quick. There was a market insight that we had put out, some numbers that we calculate through. And if you pull this up here, if you haven't been there yet, please do look at this, right? So you can see on 9/11 here, we had a potential better day to take some puts. And then you can see now today, right? Today, the 13th and the 14th, is saying that there might be a better potential for a push up, right? So we want to look for those calls. We had some key resistance levels, some key support levels that we had pulled, and then we kind of talked about all that, right? And so the reason why I bring that out is that was very kind of helpful for us to trade. So when the market opened, right, look, it played out perfectly. We had our bearish there, so we did take our puts through that. Now, when we got into this level here, which was right on the 446, 50 or 60 range, one of the things that we were talking about in the room is that what was once resistance can always turn as support, right? And so that is what we were looking for. We did bounce off of this a bunch of times, and then it came up, created the higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right, and so on. So, that's the key thing is a lot of the new traders, they get stuck on, thinking resistance is always resistance, right? Resistance can turn support, support can turn resistance. So you always want to remember that. So that was some key levels that we were kind of playing. You can see here, even the live trader, we took the put there. I was so bummed actually because this was the range. If you remember, I had marked to take the call for the reversal, and the TA apparently was just too precise. So this is I'm glad this kind of stuff happens because I want to show you guys when you're using the live trader. If your TA says that it's going to bounce around 446.50, it's good to move it up a little bit. I think we had 446.30 or 40 is where we were anticipating the bounce. It bounced a little bit higher, right? So being a Monday, I should have been a little more aggressive and pulled it up a little bit more. That would have put us in a call here, which would have played out perfect on that. You can see currently we did do a retest put at the same level we allowed it to take, and you can see the pre-market we're doing pretty well. So that was kind of our play from the automation standpoint of that. Now let's take a look at the indicators, the Harmonic Tracker Pro. So you can see we did get that long call from there. There's the short call. And then we did not get the short call. It's interesting because on the Harmonic on the 2 minute did not get the short call. The 1 minute, let's see if it did. Yeah, so the 1 minute did. The 2 minute is what I like to trade on. It works for me. But you can see right towards the end of the market, we did get that short call, which is playing out pretty well, plus the Ninstar cipher. There was some bearish divergence right here. You can see towards the end of the market. So that all kind of pointed that we were going to have a little bit of a fall. We'll see if it holds, right? We have an hour for markets open. We might get a little bit of a bounce. So we'll see how that holds out on the SPY. So let's talk about kind of what we're planning today. Again, looking at these levels, I'm going to recalculate these this morning. But based on the calls and puts ratio, right, there's a 0.8 ratio on that, right? So there might be a little bit of a pressure north at some point to kind of squeeze out some of those puts. And if you think about it, right, from the pump, we still created a higher low. We did not create a higher high, and we are in a pullback, right? So we might get another kind of pullback retest of this level. If that holds that level, right, that could be that call entry. So we'll kind of keep that in mind when we're setting up this live trader here. So what we're going to want to do is just take a quick look at the levels here. So for a call bounce, we want to take somewhere, let's say around that 446.50. Let's see what else we got here. So I want to let's meet the harmonic one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line like this. So if we were to get this breakdown completely, it's likely going to bounce somewhere in here, is what I'm thinking from the longer term. So that'll break it below this. It's a kind of a passive area because it's really low. We would have to break here first, which it's fighting. I'm comfortable if we take a call somewhere in the 446.50 range is still fine. And the reason why, guys, we still have support here. Lots of resistance that was all through here, and it's pretty close to this trend line. So we'll still set that at the 446.50. So if you, just so you guys know, if you have the indicator or the indicator already set up like that, like we do right here, all you'd have to do is just double check your setting, make sure that it's that's our continuation. 446.50, as long as your contract days are updated, because remember we did 4, so we have to bump that down to 3. I get sometimes people will say mine didn't take a trade, right? A lot of times it's because you didn't adjust your contract days. So you have to make sure that this is a valid day in there. So we have the time, it's fine, close day. You don't really have to close the candle out again because we've already closed the candle out and it never took the trade. If you want to, just to keep good habit, you can, because it never took a trade, right? So we'll just move that to a 12. We'll take one trade only. All right, and then we just need to delete the alert. You can highlight over the alerts, guys, and it'll tell you at the top the price that it was trying to do. So that's 448.20. That's the put, obviously. This one is missing the price, 446.50. Okay, so this one is the one we want to delete, and then we're going to come in here. Yep, this is the one that we want to add back. So any change you make, even contract days, you always add it back. All right, so we got the call set. The continuation, because we're down here, I'm gonna push down a little bit. We had it at like 449. I think it was 449.20. I'm okay pushing that down a little bit. Maybe above the 448.20, because you can see each time it broke this, right, there was a nice little push, right, which might give us enough for some profit. And so we're gonna we already have the put here, right, where our entry. So let's tighten it up, maybe like we'll say 448.40 would be my continuation I'm gonna do. So let's find yeah, this was our other call, so we'll delete that alert. So that was our other one. So again, change the days, all that's fine. I'm not going to stop it at the end of the day. 9, 12, 448.30. And that's it. And then I'm going to add that to the chart. So now we have our calls set up. So now we can move this line here because we're actually adjusted that price. So I moved my green line just to kind of where I know it's going to potentially take a call. I'm going to leave the secondary put here. It's not likely that we'll get up there to do it, but if we do, the rejection should be pretty good. So I'm going to adjust this to 449. 3 days is fine. Actually, I'm going to make this 2 days because I wanted it 1 day offset from my other one. One trade only. That's the date. There we go. It's probably this one. 448.20. Nope. 445. 449. This is the one I wanted. Okay, so we reset that put. You can just kind of true it up, make sure it's right where we have it. Yeah, we're still getting that little bounce. Hopefully for this put's sake, we keep down a little bit. But if not, we're protected by a continuation. We'll get a nice little scalp north. And then the other one, we don't have to touch because it's already in the trade. So we do have a continuation at 445.80. I'm going to bring this one up a little bit as well, just to tighten up from that area. So we'll say 446.20. 445, this one. All right, so that's going to be here. So we're going to say 446.20. We're just going to tighten it up a little bit today, guys. Three. Bada bing, that's it. All right, so that's gonna be our range today, guys, that I have. So if we pump up to 448.30, we're gonna take that call. If we pump up and reject 448.20, we'll take the put. This one's a little tighter than I normally would like it, but I don't want to move the call higher because of this range here. And I don't want to move the put lower because we've already are in that put, right? So this one's more of a protectant of the other one. So if we happen to pump up, right, it's going to jump in pretty quick. And if we do jump up, it'll re-enter another put and make some more money on the way back down. So I'm okay with that setup. If we open the market and we do crash down, right, then we'll take our call from here. We'll take a put continuation if we hit from there. So I'm just looking, guys. I don't know. I don't know that I like 446.20. I'm gonna move it down to 446. I want a little more separation in here. Plus, I don't like it being so close to that resistance level. So all we gotta do to change it is just come over here. Let's do 446. Yeah, sorry about that. I always go with my gut, and I didn't like that one. So just delete that alert you created. Once you have it updated, you add the other alert. There we go. I don't mind the range being so close on here because we're already in that trade, right? So if the market pumps up north, then we're protected. But on this one, we don't want to get caught where it comes down, enters a put, comes up, gets you in the call, and now you're stuck in that put, right? And there's too much prior resistance right around that level, right there, right there, right there. I mean, that we might get that bounce, right? Which is what we want for this, but we don't want to get caught in this at the same time. So we just, 20 cents separation is not going to hurt. Can you do AMD? Yeah, I can do AMD. So that's our SPY range, guys. So I can do AMD next, actually, because I jump into the tech stocks usually, but if you guys got some special requests, we can do it. So I don't typically chart AMD. So let me change the QQQ here. It's not one of my normal ones that I trade. So let's just look at a few of these indicators. I like to start with the Bollinger Band and the Zone Tracker. So sitting at 104.70, right off the bat, this looks very head and shoulderish to me. If I'm charting this, I'm gonna do this, and it already broke its pretty much its neckline, or really close. You could argue that it could be down here, but I would probably put it there. So I would look for a retest up at 106. If it fails that retest, then it's going down. That's just a quick glance from that pattern. But on the flip side, you have a little bit of bullish divergence here. The EMAs on the 1 hour, if you look at, we're actually below the 21 SMA, which is below the 200 EMA. So we are in that death cross. So aside from, you know, this kind of minor bullish divergence, right? Because you have equal lows here and you have the lower lows here. That's showing possible signs of something reversing going north, but aside from that, the rest of that looks pretty bearish. But let's take a look at. It's likely getting a little bounce here because if you take this line here, right, so you might find some support around 102, 103 to get a bounce. If I'm boxing this in to trade it, I always take it off the 1 hour first. I'm going to box in my low, and then I'm going to box in my high. You can take this right here as a high. It's going to give it a lot of room, right? So if you want something more kind of localized, you could take this peak and bring it down like this. And you can see that would be kind of your breakout because see both these peaks actually hit it. And so you got your neckline here. So I would say if this rejects, you know, if you get up to 106 and it rejects, it's likely going to come to 102 before it gets a good bounce. If that bounce is good enough, it'll invalidate this. If the bounce is not good enough and we break below this, then it's got a lot more to fall. But if it does invalidate this and we break back above this neckline, this would be the breakout zone, like 108, 107. If it stays above that, then it's going to break up north. So I just did the SPY, man. You're late, bro. Guys, if you ever jump on late, you know, for those that are new to the feed, we do this for our community. It's all on YouTube. You can always go back and watch it, or you can sign up at botjock.com. It's all right here. So you can see literally right here is what I'm doing right now. So just botjok.com. I have not done NVIDIA though, so we can do NVIDIA. Welcome, link in my bio. All right. So NVIDIA is one that I chart. So let's take a look at NVIDIA. Everybody loves NVIDIA. I don't trade NVIDIA other than that when we had that pump a whole lot, just because I mean there's a lot of volume, a lot of movement, but it's the FOMO train, right? So first glance, I have the gap fill sniper. You can see on NVIDIA in the 1 hour, we're getting a little more bearish than bullish. This is a gap fill sniper, meaning that if we get too heavy bearish, the bulls are going to step in, and that's typically where the bounce comes. It's got about another 5% it could run before that happens, but let's take a look at the other ones. So I'm going to look at the Bollinger Band, the zone tracker. We are below that 21 SMA like we talked about yesterday. And it's funny because remember we were charting this right here, remember, and I put this line right there. I said if we can't break this line, I would likely suggest to take a put right from that on the 1 hour. And you can see it looks like yesterday, right off the 1 hour, we dropped from 462 all the way down to 445. So that line played out perfect on it. We did find some support on the lower line that we drew. So this line was just kind of brought from this level of support, and then I think way back here is where we started it. Yeah. So that's likely why we're getting a little bit of a bounce on NVIDIA. NVIDIA I would watch because if we have a fall here, we got our support, and we hold a higher low here, and you can break this, remember the end, and you break this 21 SMA, so around 450, 145, then you might be able to get enough volume. Now keep in mind the neckline is also a prior support, turned resistance, so I would not take a call on NVIDIA unless I'm above 440 or 454 for me. Is what I would do, because then you'll have a little room to go up to 459. Now, if we continue to stay below this trend line area, right, Um, let's take a look and see, is there any way we can adjust this line to get that bottom? Because remember, we skipped these wicks here due to that wick there. But let's see if we pull it down. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. We could true it up in the bottom and see. It'll give us a better breakout line. See, because now you have this wick, you have a support, you have support. So this will give us a better breakout line. So if you see it break below 446.50, I would look more puts on that. I definitely would not take calls if you're below that line. So I hope that helps you. On the 1 hour, divergence hunter is still red, but we do have still bullish divergence. So it's gearing up for a push north. I just don't know if it's there yet. I wouldn't take a call on it quite yet. That's for sure. Good deal. Let's see. We got 10 minutes left. So if you guys have any other requests, let me know. I'll just start doing it that way. If you guys have requests, pop it in there. Otherwise, I'm gonna do the Dixie and we'll do Bitcoin. Let's scout out the Dixie. So you can see on the 1 hour, we got that support as anticipated on the 200 EMA, pump back up. It's likely what drove the market down. The key thing I'm watching here that sticks out to me is this level here. If we can get up to like 104.99, 105, and we reject off that, then that's gonna drop this pretty good. We have news tomorrow, because I'll say without news, typically when you have a trend line like this and you have a 200 EMA like this, it's just going to squeeze like this. But we have news tomorrow, so CPI. So CPI is easily going to push this up in a big way or down in a big way. That's just how it does it. Always. Remember on the dollar, we've been climbing, so it's just been on an absolute tear since this double bottom here. So we can draw a little low, something like that. Yeah. Let's look at the VIX. We don't look at the VIX. If y'all have any other requests, let me know. So we found some support. It's kind of in a squeeze. Been a little more bearish though, so it says it's due for some bullishness. Got a little double bottom here, but this doesn't look pretty. Yeah. Bitcoin. All right, let's go to the 1 hour. So Bitcoin got a little bit of a bounce. Not too bad, guys. I mean, if you look at it, our line right here is 24.8. This was based off of this prior low. You can see we got to 24.9. We were within 80 bucks. Not too shabby. And then we had our push north. It likely can continue up to about 26,682. But again, this is gonna be very news dependent tomorrow, guys. And I believe the news is supposed to be more bearish tomorrow, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that's priced in. It might be already priced in with a lot of the pullback, especially for crypto. But on Bajak, if you just go to economic events, you can see the news. You can kind of tell if you scroll down on Wednesday right here. So you can see we were at the 3.2. Anticipation is that it's going back up, and not only a little bit by 0.4. So if we end up any higher than that, the market's gonna dump. If we end up any lower, if we end up in the middle, it'll just kind of like up down, up down. If we end up any lower than that, then we're gonna pump like crazy, actually. Yeah, so Bitcoin, like I said, I mean, we're just in this range. I mean, you can almost box in a kind of an upper range here of 26.4 is pretty good resistance, and then 25.3. I mean, you can literally just, I mean, think about this, guys. The way we scalp them, if you're just playing this range. I haven't traded Bitcoin in quite some time since I started doing options, but those of you guys that are running the Big Get ATA, if you're outside the US, you guys have been killing it. So, but that's awesome. So we got the ATA settings set up, guys. Again, we are in this put here, and it's looking pretty juicy. So we got about 35 minutes. Hopefully that drops down. What I would love to see is a market open pull down into this area here. This would give us a retest of that support, and it would give us a nice opening of profit and flip us right into a call. So that'd be just an absolute perfect day. So we'll sit tight and hold on to that. But I got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna drop off, guys. That's really all I had for the day. Just be careful of the news Wednesday and Thursday if there's no other requests. And again, if you're on TikTok or even on YouTube, check us out at botjock.com. If you are in the community and if you have not seen it yet, we are doing market review and market insights. If you are a premium member, you do get the market review. We're going to do this every single Sunday, and it basically will outline all of our direction and thoughts on where we see pretty much each of the stocks that we cover, as well as the SPY. So the market insight will be more support resistance levels focus, puts longs, or puts and calls. The concept I want to do with this one is to kind of help you guys with the levels when you're setting your live trader for your automation. So that is the idea of that. But I appreciate you guys' time. I'm going to end it in the community. We'll see you guys soon. TikTok, I'll hang out for a minute, and if you have any questions.